Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good night. Depending on where you are joining us from this evening. My name is Opeoluwa. How we all doing this evening? If you can hear loud and clear, just type one in the chat room. If you can hear me loud and clear, just type one in the chat room. Good evening, good evening. I want to be sure you can hear me loud and clear. Good evening, everyone. Please just type one in the chat room. I'm still waiting for a response. Just go to the chat room and type figure one. Oh, awesome. I was almost getting scared that is it that people can't hear me. So welcome to the real estate conversation tonight. Please let me know where you are joining us from. And if there's anybody that you believe should be in this session tonight, please let's reach out to them right now. Send them the same link you are using to join. Let them know that we are live and tell them to join, okay? I'm doing the same thing at my hand right now. Invite the members of your community that there's a great benefit that they are going to be getting, right? Something that will literally change their future, something that will literally give them financial freedom like never before, okay? That is, Lifepage. For those that don't know us, I mean, we are Lifepage Property and Investment Limited. My name is Opeoluwa, and I'm currently the executive director in charge of projects. And tonight we are talking about our Palmville project. Okay, and I'll be doing some brief introduction, and after that, the next voice you hear after my voice will be the voice of our CEO, Dr. Oladipupo Clement. And for those that are wondering why am I here, in case you find your way, you stumble to this meeting, or somebody sent you this link and you are wondering why am I here. So we call this the real estate conversation, and basically why we put this together is that for anybody that is going to be partnering with us, for anybody that is going to be having to do business with us, we want to buy into our project, we want to buy into any of our property, we believe strongly that it is better you are doing that from the strength, from the place of knowledge. We strongly believe that knowledge is very, very powerful, and an informed customer is an empowered customer. That's our own philosophy. So that's the reason why we put this together, so that we can educate. We can ask all the questions that you want. I know so many of us have questions, one question or the other, right? Ask all the questions that you need to ask, then we will answer them. It's a 1 hour session, 7 p.m. To 8 p.m. So I will try as much as possible to stick to that section. So if you can still hear me loud and clear, I just want you to type one in the chat room. We have Nancy from Lagos. You're welcome. Nancy, you're welcome from Lagos. Ajayi Omolola Shaliwa from Mowe. Wow, awesome, awesome. Okay, Bukayo from Lagos, Julie from UK, Bamidele from K2, Alakpere in Lagos, Ifeyinwa from Lagos. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Peter, let me pronounce the pastor. Peter Iwanko from Umaya. Please let's mute our mics. Let's mute our mics anywhere we are. Just mute your mic so that our sessions tonight will be interesting. Okay. And we have Kemi from Ikene. You're welcome. Okay. Thank you very much. And I believe everybody can still hear me. We have Peggy. Oh, that's a beautiful name. Peggy from UK. Peggy Urume from UK. We have Felicia from USA. You are also welcome. So we have a lot of people from all over the world. So there are people that are within my time zone, and there are people that are outside my time zone. So I'm very sure here is 7:04, and depending on the part of the US that you are, I'm very sure that there are some places that they are probably still in the morning or in the afternoon. Okay, so I just want to run us through what is because Palmville basically, just for those that are just hearing about it for the very first time, which I believe is the majority of all of us that are here. So Palmville is a scheme that we have put together, right? It's a product that we have put together that gives you land ownership and also gives you the opportunity to earn from agricultural produce of that land. And we are using the platform of palm tree. That's palm tree that produces palm oil. Okay, that's basically what Palmville is all about. Okay, see, it's a situation whereby all our customers buys land, get their land, own their land, own the land. Please mute your mic. Let's mute our mic. So please, let me quickly do this as ground rule before I move further. Please, as you join the meeting, just mute your mic. Mr. Joseph from Sweden, you're welcome. And also, in case you have any question, so that we can be properly coordinated, there is no way we'll be able to answer all your questions if we allow everybody to unmute their mic. So during my presentation, or during OC, our CEO, as we popularly call him, presentation, type your question, or you can write it down and type it later. Anyone that works for you, okay? Because if we give everybody the opportunity to unmute their mic, it's almost going to be impossible for us to answer everybody, okay? My audio is low. That's strange. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear. Somebody complained that my audio is low. Maybe check your device. I believe I'm very, very loud. Okay, please check your device, or somebody else should confirm that for me. Okay, so let me just continue while we wait for that feedback. Okay, so customer gets to buy the land, and customer gets to get the documentation, and they own the land. Okay, so somebody might ask, why palm oil? What is palm oil used for? Okay, palm oil beyond food is used for cooking, for baking, for a whole lot of things, detergents, a whole lot of things. Cosmetic industry use it, factory industry use it, lubricant industry use it, a whole lot of things. So, and that's one of the beautiful things about going into this. So it does not have a single use case. Let me explain that. It does not have a single use case. It's obvious that different people are getting different feedback with respect to my volume. Okay, no problem. I'll increase my pitch a little bit. So it does not have a single use case. What that means is that the demand is across all industry. The demand is across all industries. So the food industry is demanding for it. The manufacturing industry is demanding for it. The cosmetic industry, everybody is demanding for it. And it's globally relevant. We've had a lot of questions. Say, we know that beyond palm oil, the palm tree can produce a whole lot of things. See, the palm oil is a global commodity. Every other thing that it can produce, the demand cannot be compared to palm oil. So it's better to plan with what the global relevance and the global demand is very, very active, okay? So currently, the global production of palm oil is between 70 to 76 million metric tons per annum. I mean, using the USDA data. What they did was that they got 10 years So thank you very much. So increase my volume, but something, okay? So it's very, very hard. I know that most of the police
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Apologies. I'm sure he's having a network problem on his end. So kindly give him a few minutes. He'll be joining us shortly. Yes, the network is bad in some places, so we need to move to 10G. Yes, we will be with you shortly. Just a moment. Admin, please let me know when Mr. Okpe rejoins so that, yes, so we need 10G. Let me know when Mr. Okpe rejoins the platform. You can subscribe to Elon Musk satellite. Yes, so okay. My network is far more stable in my current location. So okay. Don't worry, it will get better. I want him to join back. Is Mr. Okpe back on the call? Please, can someone confirm for me? Admin, can you guys confirm for me if Mr. Okpe is back on the call? All right, so while we wait for him to join, because he has something very, very important to share, I want to establish one important fact, and it is the fact that you are on this call because you are an existing customer or an existing partner, or either of these two people, all right, invited you on this call, because what we're sharing is exclusive to them and those within their families and friends. So we are so delighted you made it to be a part of this call. I think Mr. Okpe is back on the call right now. So let me yield the floor again, because it has a very important data. We're not doing this as a trial and error. We're not pushing out something that we could have launched it since last year, but we had to take our time to dot the I's, to cross the T's, and be sure that what we are putting out there is not only going to benefit people today, but for a very, very long time. And everything we are going to be putting out is data backed, is research backed. Okay, so over to you, Mr. Okpe. Welcome back.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Apologies. I hope I'm loud. I hope I'm better. Apparently, Nigeria, where you want to have online meeting, you need to have like 4 internets. So, okay, apologies. So I was sharing the story of how Malaysia came to Nigeria, picked the seed, and established. Right?
So sorry, Mr. Okpe, you need to backtrack to the data you were reeling out. We started getting disconnected when when that happened. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for that feedback. So, like I said, so today the demand is still very, very huge. Currently, the supply of global production of palm oil is between 70 and 76 million metric tons per annum. And one critical and important thing about palm oil is that it is globally relevant and it cut across industry. Okay, it cut across industry. Like I said, the food industry, the healthcare industry, the home care industry, the personal care industry, across all lubricants, a lot of industry use it. So the global relevance is very, very important. In fact, palm oil demand is not only for food, right? It's also part of what is used for biofuel. Like if you have ever alternative energy, and you know what it means, basically, right? That means that palm oil is the new crude oil, right? So there are a lot of industry now that are using palm oil as the source of biofuel, okay? So it's globally traded, it's globally relevant. Like I said, Malaysia is currently produce the highest. And even with their production, at the peak of their production is about 20 million metric tons. They are still, they've not even scratched the surface of what the demand really, really is. So in terms of the gap, the global gap currently is over 3 million metric tons. 3 million metric tons per annum. That is the global gap for palm oil in the whole world. 3 million metric tons. Let me give you a perspective. I was just trying to, to be very funny. Let me use that word. I said, okay, what if we want to meet up with that 3 million metric ton as a single entity? So I just did a rough calculation and I realized that for us to meet up with that, I'm talking about demand as of now. I'm not even talking about the future demand, right? We are going to be needing over 400,000 hectares of land. That's over 400,000 hectares of land. That's what it means. 400. So the demand is huge. I'm talking about demand as at 2025. I'm not even talking about the future demand. So looking at it for the next 10 years, what the demand is saying in the next 10 years is that the demand is going to grow from, the deficit rather is going to grow from 3 million metric ton per annum to 10 million metric ton per annum if the current supply remains the same. So what that means is this: the gap is huge. And let's now look at Nigeria. Let's even leave the global markets and let's look at Nigeria. So Nigeria, the demand is huge in Nigeria. In fact, as it is currently right now, Nigeria, we are only supplying less than 75% of our consumption in Nigeria right now. Less than 75% of our consumption. What that means is this: if we decide that, okay, anybody producing palm oil in Nigeria, like I was still sharing with some people over the week, that if Nigerian government decide that we are not exporting palm oil, we ourselves, we are not producing enough to meet our local demand. And the local demand we are even talking about is our consumption demand, not even our industrial demand. That's construction. If you want to do vegetable, you use palm oil. That's the demand I'm even talking about, not industrial demand, because the data for industrial demand is not even available in Nigeria. Local demand, okay? So that's to tell you how huge this is. And we all know that the industrial use of a commodity is usually much more than the local use of that commodity, okay? So somebody might ask, why produce this thing in Nigeria? Why shouldn't I just go to Malaysia and just go and get more land? So whatever they are doing in Malaysia is just an offshoot of what they learned from us in Nigeria, right? Yes, they might have the right infrastructure, they might have the right government support, but all of that can also be created in Nigeria, okay? And somebody asked a question also, like, it's not a question, I'm just giving us statistics, right? I'm not answering questions, but I'm just linking it up, okay? One of the beautiful things about palm oil, statistics have shown about palm tree rather, is that compared to every other cash crop, is one commodity that cash crop that when you plant it, right? And we have said minimum of 40 years. Palm tree 70 years and is still very, very much producing. Unlike every other thing, the cost of maintaining that palm tree over a long period of time is relatively low. Okay? Because of our time, let me just round up with the story. For those of us that follows the Nigerian stock, can we still hear me? If you can still hear me, just type 1. Sorry, NEPA took like another Nigerian factor.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, but you might not be able to say, okay, yeah, power is back. Thank you. So one thing that I just want us to round up with is this. If for those that follow the Nigerian stock markets, you will know these two companies, Presco Oil and Okumu Oil. These are two companies in the Nigerian stock market that have been very, very consistent. And what do? Their main and core business is palm oil. Main and core business is palm oil. In terms of dividend payment, they are one of the top in the country. In terms of consistency of a company, they are high flying. Imagine doing a business that you have done one-time work, and all you are doing is just what you are maintaining it, and you're getting paid for the next 40 years. That's how powerful this palm oil is. The numbers are interesting. So I think I'll just draw the curtain here, just like I mentioned. Okay. So in case you have any question, so please make sure you drop it in the chat room. Over to you, Caesar.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okpe. You've done really well in spite of all the interruptions. Thank you. And thank you once again, everyone, for making time out to be a part of this call. My name is Oladipupo Clement, as most people, and most people call me OC for short. I am currently the CEO of Lifepage, and anyone who has known me for upward of 20 years would know something that is very consistent about my life is about helping people create and retain their wealth. As a person, this is my calling, and as an organization, that's the center of everything that we do. And so we are a real estate company, and we are primarily in the business of making lives richer. We use real estate as a vehicle to help people create and retain their wealth. And that's pretty much what we do. We are not farmers. Or when we identify, we recognize that every business is a real estate business, whether aviation, whether agriculture, whether you are into hospitality, you are into manufacturing. Every business, transportation, every business, education, whatever business, think about any business, it's a real estate business. At the foundation of every other enterprise all over the world, even in cloud computing, the data center is domiciled on a piece of real estate. And that is also part of the major reasons why we anchor most of the things that we do around real estate. But we have formed a very, very remarkable and formidable partnership with a company that is in this particular, I've mastered oil palm plantation. And we're forging ahead, leveraging that partnership to not only help us as a company, but also help most of our customers. And that's why we're bringing to you this exclusive private offer. So please take note of this. It's exclusive. That's why I said earlier that you are on this call primarily because you are either an existing customer or an existing partner, or any of those two categories of people invited you here. And it's my honor, it's my delight. It's nothing gladdens our hearts like bringing opportunities that would not only help people create wealth, but also retain their wealth for generations unborn. Like I said earlier also, part of the reasons why we did not launch early enough was because we needed to make sure we dot the I's, cross the T's, and ensure we've been in business now. This May would make it exactly 14 solid years we've been in full-time operations. And this is, in my opinion, from my experience, this is the biggest of the biggest opportunity, and not just the shortest. It's like it has generational impact, right? And so I want to quickly run you through our slides. We'll make this available to each and every one of us once you make request for it. And please, like Mr. Okpe also mentioned earlier, the part of the reasons we chose palm oil. There are several other cash crops that we could have considered, but we selected oil palm plantation largely because once it starts to fruit, there's the risks are very, very, very low compared to other types of cash crops. Maintenance, and then it fruits. Once it starts fruiting, it continues to fruit for a very, very long time with little or no supervision. All right. Besides that, also, we recognize that oil palm plantation does not only have domestic appeal, it has commercial appeal. It also has industrial appeal, which Mr. Okpe already, reeled out a couple of data and research information to us. Not only that, also, it does not only have local appeal, it also has global appeal. So there is nowhere in the world where palm oil is not in hot demand. So whether in your kitchen, whether in your office, whether in your manufacturer, in your factory, or on the road, on the streets, you find this is in hot demand. And so anyone who is producing, it's simple law of economics, right? That when demand rises, the price of a thing, when demand surpass, supply, what happens? The price goes up, right? part of the data that we even have right now is that Nigeria still imports palm oil. We even import. Is there anything we don't currently even import? All right, even though we have the capacity to produce them. And so we are bringing this opportunity to each and every one of us to be the first partaker before we take it public. Okay, so let me share my screen and run you through the opportunity. We call it Palmville. It's an agro real estate wealth ecosystem. With this opportunity, you own the land permanently. It brings you the opportunity to grow wealth and then also continue to earn from agriculture. In this case, the agricultural produce here is palm tree, which will eventually metamorphose into oil palm. Okay. The project overview: Palmville is an agro real estate wealth ecosystem that gives you permanent land ownership combined with structured lifetime income from oil palm plantation. So permanent land ownership, like I said earlier, structured lifetime income, up to 40 years productive asset, right? History has it that it can continue to even produce even much longer. But as a custom, as an organization, we would rather under-promise and over-deliver than over-promise and under-deliver. And that's why we kept it at up to 40 years. Who is Palmville suitable for? So it is not for everybody. So if you're on this call and you don't fit into this description, then please don't bother embracing this opportunity. Or if you know someone who it fits for or who is most suitable for, then you can tell them to take advantage of this. Palmville is ideal for individuals, families, and organizations seeking secure land ownership, steady long-term income, retirement stability, and a lasting legacy through professionally managed agro real estate. Okay, so that's what this is. Those are the category of people this particular opportunity is most suitable for. The location is Ogun State. All right, we'll answer more questions later on. And the land sizes, no matter where you are, you can position yourself, right? We have in one plot is 500 square meters. You can buy 1 acre, which is 6 plots. You can buy 1 hectare, which is 15 plots. And of course, you can buy multiples of this, depending on your objective, depending on your budget, depending on a number of other factors, okay? Upon full payment, subscribers shall receive receipt of payment and will be entitled to a registered survey and deed of assignment in their name or company name. So what that simply means is that when you pay, whatever it is you are paying for, you are paying for everything. It comes with everything, and we're going to check that shortly. But if you are getting your deed of assignment and registered survey in the name of the company, please be aware upfront, because it also makes sense to want to acquire this in your company's name. But please note that the applicable fees charged for documentation in the company's name is not the same as individual's name. So please, let's take note of that. We'll come back to all of those things. Now, this is the pricing structure. Like I said earlier, this is an exclusive private offer, and it is exclusively for our existing customers, existing partners, and people within their network, families and friends. All right. So this current exclusive offer is going for 900,000 naira. Admin, can you please mute the person who is interrupting our meeting, please? A plot. Thank you. A plot under this exclusive offer is 900,000 naira. 6 plots is 4.5 million naira. 15 plots is 11 million naira. So if you want to buy 2 plots, just double it. If you want to buy 12 plots, just according to the numbers you want to buy. If you want to buy 2 hectares, 10 hectares, 50 hectares, there's opportunity for you now. And that's why we're bringing it out to all our existing customers and existing partners, as well as people within their family or circle of influence. Now, by the time we take it to the public, it will be a pre-launch offer, and that will be taking effect anytime soon. And a plot will be selling for 1.2 million 6 plots will be going for 6 million, 15 plots will be going for 15 million naira. Outright payment. Please note that if you want other forms of payment plans, you can reach out to whoever invited you, and then they can structure arrangements for you. We also have other exclusive opportunities. Just reach out to whoever invited you, or call the following numbers: 090605747 or 090605737. I'll take that again. If you need further clarifications, I mean, I'm not done yet, but I'm just saying this just in case you are looking at the pricing structure and you are thinking which one may fit into your plan, into your purpose, into your strategy, and all of that. Okay, so so we have an outright offer, we have the 3 months and a 6-month payment plan. All of them have different pricing structure, and you can screen grab this. This is also being recorded, so we'll make this recording available to you, so you can watch it, again and again. Palm oil yield and scale economics, just to give you a sense of what is the production capacity, what is the potential of each plot you buy, right? So for a 500 square meter land, we are projecting 8 to 10 palm trees per plot, right? Some people have asked us, some people say, okay, can be more. You know something? There is nothing that we are trying to do that some people have not done before. We are not trying to create something that does not exist, right? Even though our offer is unique to us, right? But as far as oil palm plantation is concerned, it has been in existence before, and you can do it, right? So because of a sense of purpose and a sense of vision, we brought this because it aligns very much with our what we represent, and that's what it is. If you believe you can do better, why not take it, go and do it? All right. But for those who say, "Oh, I want everything to be managed for me. I want everything to be handled for me. I don't want to have to, deal with I have to do with management of the sites and farm and all of those things," then this is your opportunity, right? So to keep our projections highly conservative, everything is projected, everything is estimated. It could be higher. That's why we have to put it at a range. So average yield per tree is 25 liters of palm oil per tree. So if you have 8 on the low side, if you have 8 trees on your plot of land, you get 200 liters of oil. If you have 10 trees on your farm, on your land, which is yours permanently, right, you have 250 liters of palm oil. And whatever the price, the going rate is at the time, that will be the basis for assessing revenue. All right. 6 plots, the same thing. For 6 plots, is 48 to 60 plots. 15 plots is 120 to 150 trees, I beg your pardon. All right. So, but average yield in terms of palm oil, in terms of liters per tree and per year is 25 liters per tree in a single year. So please, you can screen grab this also. And for those of you who may be thinking of, I want to do things like this, why not? You can take the kids, do it, right? But if you're looking to partner with us and work with us, then this is a brilliant opportunity you don't want to snooze on, because if you snooze, you lose, right? What does your payment cover? And this is so important. Please take note of this. You can also screen grab this for your records, okay? Even though we have a lot more materials that you can preview or review later on, but please take note of all the following. Number 1 is the land value. So like we said, when you subscribe into Palmville, you are paying for land. The land is permanently yours. The land value as of today is 1.5 million naira per plot for 500 square meters. 6 plots is 7.5. 15 plots is 18 million. Now, deed of assignment and registered survey. This is how much it is: 1 million for 500 square meters, 6 million for 6 plots, 15 million for 15 plots. Discount voucher. Now, please note, if you're buying 1 plot, you don't get discount voucher. What is a discount voucher under this particular arrangement? A discount voucher is not discount on what you are buying. Discount voucher applies to your next plot. So if you bought 1 plot, you don't qualify for discount voucher. But if you buy 6 plots or more, that's when you are eligible for discount voucher, which means if you buy 6 plots right now and you are buying the next 6 plots, you are eligible for 500,000 naira discount on your next purchase. If you buy 15 plots and you want to buy another 15 plots, then we apply 1.25 million on your next purchase. All right. So that's pretty much the way discount voucher works right now. Then you also get, this is also a very unique opportunity. So every time, as you are paying for this land, what it's coming with, it's enormous. It's unbelievable. It's no brainer, right? And you also get free plots in Palmville Resort. Now, even though we are not launching Palmville, right? Palmville Resort right now, all the people who buy 6 plots or more be eligible to get free plots within Palmville. Palmville is going to be a resort destination. It's going to be, so that is the only place you can build. You can't build on the land you are buying. This land you are buying is purely for oil palm plantation. And that is the reason why you're getting the free plots, particularly if you buy 6 plots or more, all right? And the value of what you get is what we have enumerated. You can screen grab it and then you see. Because of that same additional value that you're getting, we are providing you architectural drawing, we are providing you bill of quantities, all of that is also coming at enormous value of 3 million, 2 million each. Access to agro real estate community is also, this is priceless, right? Then expert supervision and management. Now, what you are paying for is not just land, you are also paying for everything that has to do with the seedlings, the cultivation, the planting, the fruiting, the milling, the processing, the distribution, the sales. So, and it takes up to 5 years. It takes between 3 to 5 years before the palm tree begins to fruit, right? And so we are projecting that for the entire first 5 years, what you are paying for covers all of that. So whether you are buying per plot or you are buying per acre or buying per hectare, right? What you are paying for covers for that money. So we are not coming back to you to ask for additional fund or to say, oh, we need to build a factory. No, there's something like that. What you are paying for includes for land and everything else that I've already mentioned. Then also it covers project insurance and security. This is equally priceless. So if you sum everything up, if you are buying a plot of land today, it is under this exclusive private offer. It goes for 900,000 naira, but you are getting a value of 2.5 million. If you go for 6 plots, if you go for an acre, you are paying 4.5 million naira outright, but you are getting a value of 20 million naira. If you go for 1 hectare, you are paying 11 million outright, but you are getting a value of 41.75 million naira. That is unbeatable in the market right now. And so there's nothing else we could have brought to our existing customers who have already done business with us than to bring something that will also enrich them even further. Okay. And then now the yield sharing. We are expecting that harvest will start to yield, right, from the 6th year. So it means that we expect that whatever we harvest, once the thing starts to fruit between 3 to 5 years, from the 6th year, we would have been able to conclude all transactions, all distributions, all milling, all processing, and then we can then begin to talk of sharing, profit sharing. And this is the basis upon which profit will be shared. 60% net, all right? Whoever is going to be working on sites and every agronomist, farmers, laborers, and all of that will all be on payroll. But we won't need to. It is the project itself that will fund itself. All right. So, but 60% of the net profit is what will be shared. So the 60% will go to the landowner, while 40% will be shared between Lifepage and the management company that we are collaborating with to drive this project. I hope this is very clear. And this is important for operations and sustainability. Somebody says, chop alone, you die alone. We ourselves as a company, we're not joking. This is a mega project that we are not joking with, and we felt it was necessary to quickly position ourselves and all the people that are currently connected to us to this unique opportunity. Now, there are a few frequently asked questions, but because of our time, we may not be able to go into all of it. What I intend to do, or what we will do, is to make these slides We'll make it available to every one of you on this call. So if you have further questions outside what we have already shared here, please feel free. Do not hesitate. I always say, anybody who feels traumatized with too much of your questions do not deserve your money. Any company that feels you're asking too much questions before you part with your hard-earned funds, then do not deserve your money. So let me therefore suggest that you go through the slides when whoever invited you makes it available to, or you can reach out to those who invited you so they can make this available to you as well. So many of the things I've already talked about, but let me just see if I can touch on a few other things, or maybe we should just take questions, right? Mr. Akwe, what do you suggest? You are muted.
Let's just go through questions. We have a lot of questions here already.
All right, that's fine.
Yes, sir. Okay, so please let's keep typing our question. Notice that somebody is raising up his hand. So the way it works is that you are not allowed to raise up your hand. We will not unmute you. So please, all you just need to do is to type your question. So I think the first question here is, what's the likelihood that palm oil price will not crash like cocoa price did? What's the likelihood that palm oil price will not crash? Also, did you get the question?
Can you repeat that again? I didn't quite get it.
What is the yes, the way the question was crafted, but this is what the person is asking, is that what is the likelihood that the palm oil price will not crash like cocoa price did?
Okay, well, thank you very much for that question. I don't know who the person is, but the interesting thing is that just like we say, even according to scriptures, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest will not cease. As long as human beings still exist, there will be continuous demand. Mr. Akbe gave us a data earlier and saying that in order to meet the current demand, the current deficit to bridge that gap alone per annum, we need 400,000 hectares of land. And I can guarantee you that not everybody have 400,000 hectares, and not everybody will go into that. But as population rises, so will the demand go up. Do we anticipate that population will rise? If the answer to that is yes, then the demand for this will also rise. Can we meet that demand? It will be a totally different question. But like you already know in basic economics, when demand rises and there's not enough supply, the price continues to go up. But if the supply is far outweighs the demand, then the price will definitely dip. But if it is constantly in demand, right, there are things that have already been commoditized. That's because there are also sort of substitutes. If you live in diaspora, you will know what I'm talking about. You go to some African stores and then you will see Ghana palm oil, you see Nigerian palm oil, you see Indian palm oil. I mean, they even produce all of these things in other parts of the world and ship it into many of these African stores. So demand will rise, but so can the supply also rise too. All right, as people begin to get into it. Yeah, so I can't say that it won't. I can't say it will not, or I can't say it will. Right.
Okay, thank you, sir. What are the risk mitigation strategies we will put in place?
Fantastic question. Very important question. Interesting thing is that it's already captured. It was one of the key questions we captured in the frequently asked questions in the slide. So we'll make that available to you. Please, if you need to get a slide, send Palmville. Send it. You need to get a slide. You want to subscribe to this project, send Palmville to 090-6000-5737. And that will be made available to you. So please, and then if you have further questions, feel free, right, to ask all the questions. What are the risks involved? You see number 16 here. Agriculture agricultural operations involve inherent risks. I say to people all the time, there's no such thing as risk-free investments. There are only low risk, moderately risky, aggressively risky investments. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are currently even running a risk. The issue is that we have to choose our risk. All right. And we are choosing our risk by settling for palm tree because of many of the things that we have identified, the gaps. There's also the skill gap, and we are bridging that gap with our partnership with the management company that have been doing it for decades. Okay. Agricultural operations involve inherent risks that may affect timelines, costs, and outcomes. These include environmental factors such as weather variability, drought, flooding, pests, and disease, as well as market conditions, supply chain disruptions, regulatory changes, and other unforeseen events beyond the control of Lifepage. Now, those are things that you can consider as risk. While Lifepage applies prudent planning, professional management, and risk mitigation measures, outcomes and returns cannot be guaranteed, and timelines may be adjusted when necessary, right? In the event of significant disruptions, Lifepage will communicate promptly and take reasonable steps to manage the impact in the best interest of all stakeholders. Participation is subject to the applicable subscription agreement, which contains full risk disclosure and terms governing unforeseen events, including force majeure. I must mention here that that's pretty much what it is. We're not going to behave as though we are the alpha and omega on this matter. By the way, in order to subscribe, these are the following steps you should take. Number one, select your preferred land size, whether 1 plot, 6 plot, 15 plot, or more. Just make your decision and choose your payment plan, whether outright 6 months or 3 months, depending on what fits your budget. Then complete the subscription form. Please make sure you do that because it also contains all the frequently asked questions. It contains everything you need to know. And even after that, you still have more questions. Feel free to ask all the questions. And then, of course, after that, then you can make payments. Now, please note, for those of you who are existing customers of Lifepage, your previous subscriptions was Lifepage Property and Investments Limited. This is an agro real estate project. And so where you are paying to this time around is different from, please don't go pay what belongs to Palmville into Lifepage Property and Investments. That's a real estate development. All right. This one is like agro real estate. So please, the account details are here. You can screen grab it as well. Lifepage Agro Real Estate Limited. And this is the account details. And this is the bank. All right. So I hope I answered that question on risk. But I just realized that I didn't touch on this too. Yeah.
Perfect. So the next question actually is about price. Somebody is asking, please, what is the duration of payment for 1 acre? I think the person is interested in 1 acre. So the next question that follows is that what is the price? So different 2 questions. So let's just touch on price again.
Okay, so let me go back to the slides because I touched on them. So this is the price. So if you are buying 1 acre, which is 6 plots, and you are paying outright, you'll be paying 4.5 million naira during this exclusive offer. Once this exclusive offer is over, then you'll be paying 6 million. So please, if you want to lock it down right about now. If you are doing 3 months payment plan, if that's what fits into your cash flow, then you can do 4.6 million. That's what you have to pay for 3 months. Now, what that means is you pay 20% down payment, and then you spread the remaining balance over 2 months, right? If you are going for 6-month payment plan, you pay 4.7 million in total. Then what that simply means is you make a down payment of 2 million or so, and then I think it's 1 million. I think it's 1 million or 2 million, I'm not sure. But you make a down payment of 20%, and then you spread the remaining balance over 5 months. Do you understand that? So if you are doing outright, you pay outright. If you are doing 3 months, you make a down payment of 20%, then you break the remaining balance over a 2-month period. And then if you are doing 6-month payment plan, you make a down payment, and then you spread the remaining balance over 5 months. So that's pretty much the way it works. And the same thing applies to all of this. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, OC. So for anybody that is asking question about the presentation, just send Palmville to 0906005737. Send Palmville. Because I noticed some people have dropped their email. So please send Palmville on WhatsApp to those numbers. You'll get the presentation so that you can go through it. Because there's no, I'm trying to skip some questions because you've answered them. So there are two questions in one here. Number one is that who will plant the tree and what is the projected net profit?
Okay, so we mentioned earlier that we are a real estate company and we are collaborating and we have a partnership, an ongoing active partnership, right, with professional management when it comes to palm tree farming. There are other forms of agro-allied services, but palm tree is the core business, and that we are collaborating with that company in managing, and that's the company that will be responsible for managing and planting and everything that we talked about, and that's the basis upon which we are going to be sharing. In terms of projected profit or whatever, we cannot project profit, we cannot project revenue because we cannot determine what the prices of those items would be by that time. What we can project right now is how much liter of oil can you generate per tree, all right, per plot, per acre, right? And that can be a basis to measure how well we are optimizing the project by then. So that's pretty much what we can project right now.
Okay. The next question is it possible? Okay, another two-in-one question. Number one is where is the land located? Number two is that is it possible to convert the land to other real estate purposes after 10 or 20 years?
Okay, so first, where is the land located? I can confirm to you now that it is Obafemi Owode in Ogun State. Okay, and it has taken us just a couple of weeks to come to that information, to bring you that information, largely because it is not all soil. And we need to be sure that this place can deliver. So that's the location. The second question about, can you repeat that again, the second question?
The second question is, can the land be converted into other real estate purposes after?
Oh, no. No. So when you are buying into this project, for those who are buying 1 acre or more, you already know you are going to get free plot anyway in the Palm Resort, which you can now use for other purposes. But for this one, is dedicated strictly for all palm plantation. And you don't even want to go and use it for other things in the midst of other palm trees. It really doesn't make sense, which is also part of the reason why the free plot we are giving to each subscriber, particularly for 1 acre and above, is not within the same oil palm plantation. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. So Peggy Orume is asking, after 5 years, who is responsible for expert supervision and management? But like 3 people asked this question.
Yeah, so we are still the one that is going to be responsible. So we are not coming back to you to say, hey, make now come, we need to raise money again. No, there's nothing like that. The project, whatever it is that we have set up, would fund itself and then still be giving us revenue for a long time. Yeah. I am so sure that many of us here may not even will be in heaven, but some of us now, you don't even have up to 40 years, right? Again, on earth, some of us don't have 30 years again, So I know we all want to live long, but this is somebody said the wise man is the one who plants trees under whose shade he will not reside, right? And that's what this is for some people, right? And for other people, you are planning your retirement and you are planning it carefully and intentionally. And that's what this is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Osi. So in case you notice I skip your question, is because it has been answered. So I will not keep repeating ourselves. Because somebody is asking who will plant the tree again. So, and please, you are not paying separate money, just like Osi mentioned just now.
Everything is covered.
Everything is covered. Okay. So somebody is asking another question. Yeah, he said, what does net mean? That's NET. I hope the capital will be removed before sharing. The second part is not clear to me, but the first part is what does net mean?
Okay, so net Net means after all deductions, after expenses, right? After expenses have been deducted, whatever is left, that is net. So you can gross profit and there's net profit. Gross profit is before expenses. When you deduct expenses, what you have left is net profit, and that is what will be shared. Then on the what's the second part of that question, please?
I hope the capital will be removed before sharing. That's why
there's no capital. The capital is your land. Your land is what you paid for. This is like a smarter way of putting your land to good use for a very long time. So let me tell you something here. There are people who have bought land from us as far back as 14 years ago, 13 years ago, 12 years ago. And the land is their land. The value of the land has appreciated significantly. But they are not necessarily generating anything because the land is not being put to use. This time around, we are bringing an opportunity where you own land and then the land is still keep giving you revenue and you are not doing anything. What can be more rewarding than that? So it's not a question of capital, principal. There's nothing like it. You are buying land. The land is now being used for oil palm plantation, and then it's giving you revenue from the 6-year period.
Thank you for the clarity, sir. So great idea. Well done, sir. For clarity's sake, is land owner sharing his 60% with another person? The sharing
60%.
60
No, the 60 belongs to the landowner. 40% of the profits, of the net profit, goes to the management, Lifepage and the management company.
Yeah, so the person said for clarity's sake, I think you understand, just want to be sure, so that when you receive a lot in the next couple of years. Okay, thank you very much, Osi. So another question, please talk more about the resort. How close is it to the farm, and will it be a residential building? Where is the exact location of the resort?
So like I said earlier, it is a free gift, right? And it's going to be in the resort, right? The location, don't worry, we will tell you the details later. We are not launching Palmville Resort now. It's not part of the declaration now. We are not bringing that to the market. By the time we are bringing it to the market, even you go shock and you'll be glad that you took advantage of what we are talking about. Guess what? Whether or not you get free land or not, this is already a breakthrough on the generational level. That's just an icing on the cake.
Okay. Bayo Fikeye is asking a question. I'll read this slowly so that most people will understand. It's a long question. I have only one question. Can you disclose the company you are partnering with in the management and operation of the farm? Is it a company I know, starts with M and ends with A? Then it's truly a huge bargain. I'm in. Thank you. I don't understand your question.
All right. So when you come in, those are part of the things that you will know, all the details. And so we are the company that you are buying from, and that's what is most important. We have told you we are not into farming. We are not an agricultural company, right? In that sense, we are into real estate. And we recognize our limitations. We recognize the skill gap, and we have formed a solid, formidable partnership with the company. So those disclosures and the transparency you are demanding for is only for those who take advantage of the opportunity. And we'll make that known to you. And those of you who already are within the system, you already know who the company is. So whether I started with M and ends with N, it's not much of an issue. Mr. Akbar, can you still hear me? Okay, it's like Mr. Akbar is frozen. Okay, let me see if I can pick up some more questions. I think we have less than a minute to go, and we'll call it a wrap. In case we are not able to touch on your question, please feel free to share, to copy your questions and send it to that number 090-6000-5737, 090-6000-5737, or reach out to whoever invited you to this call. whether you need a replay of this particular session, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be very delighted to answer, provide you further clarity, provide you more answers and all of that. Our time is already fast spent, and we don't want to extend it longer than this. I want to thank you all for your listening attention. God bless you, and we'll see you some other time. Bye. Au revoir. Yeah.